Hey YouTube, alright, hey, anybody who's watched my videos knows that I don't do the greatest job with all the high-tech audio and video crap, but here is the Blackberry Bold 9900. I'm mostly just going to give you some information. I bought this Blackberry Bold 9900, got the thing shipped out to me, got it yesterday, plugged the thing in, and well, let's say I got it 2 days ago. Plugged it in, the battery totally died on me within like 3 hours. I mean, to be honest, I was talking to AT&T on the telephone. I was talking to them on the phone, trying to tell them that the battery was a piece of junk, and I was going to return the phone, and the battery died right during the phone call. So luckily, because of the account I have, AT&T was willing to ship out another battery to me, which they overnighted. This doesn't really matter, but they overnighted the battery to me. And when I got the battery, I opened up the box, looked at the battery, and it turns out they sent me they sent it for free. It was a $35 thing for an iPhone. So they told me keep it. They're going to ship out another battery, and so I'm going to sell that battery on eBay and make some money off of this nightmare. But what happened was, the thing really didn't hold power. And so I spent hours and hours trying to figure out what I could change to make the Blackberry hold some power. And the first day I had to charge it twice. The first time, 3.5 hours, the battery was dead. Second time, probably 2 or 3 hours, it was dead. Today, I've run the thing for about 13 hours now, 14 hours, and I'm down to 50%. So I'm doing good. My first suggestion is to use Wi-Fi when available. Turn off the Wi-Fi when it's not in use. If you're not going to use Wi-Fi, if you've got a good connection in your city, and I'm just going to do some more graphic stuff here, just so you can see some lights. If you have a good connection in your city, and you're not worried about your data plan, or you don't pay extra money, then turn off the Wi-Fi settings. Just, you should be able to find it if you can't go on the net and look for it. Disable or turn off Wi-Fi. That way the phone won't be trying to connect to Wi-Fi all the time. I don't know how much battery use it uses, but the advantage is that if you do have Wi-Fi, supposedly you might be able to run your phone for about 2 or 3 days on a charge. But like I said, I disabled Wi-Fi, and I'm down to 50% for the whole day, and that way the phone's not constantly looking to try to find a Wi-Fi signal. What you do is you go to your network settings on your home screen, uncheck your Wi-Fi to enable it, just check it, and then make sure you save the thing. The other suggestion I would say is dim the backlight. The backlighting. Usually it comes at like 100%. I think it comes at 100%. But I dimmed mine down to 20%. That worked fine. I dimmed it down to 10%. That seemed to work good also. So if you dim it down, that light really uses a lot of battery power. So set the backlight. Excuse me. Go to your backlight settings. Go to options. Go to the options thing under your main screen. Go to options. Go to display. Go to screen display. And then scroll that thing down to about 10%. The other thing you might want to do, is change the backlight timeout. That means after you finish doing something on the cell, how long does the lighting in the back stay on before it shuts off? Oh gosh, I think they set it for, sorry, getting some water here, great video. I think they set it for about 1 minute. You can set that for 20 seconds, or even 10 seconds. I mean, think about it. If after you're done with your cell, you really need that backlight to stay on for a whole minute, 10 seconds would be good, 20 seconds max. Again, go to the options part on the main screen, go to display, go to screen display, and then scroll to that backlight timeout thing and hit 20 seconds. The other thing, I don't know how much power it's going to use, but turn off your Bluetooth when you're not using it. If you're not going to use Bluetooth at all, just shut that thing off. It's on the same screen where you saw your manage connections. Go to the desktop, go to manage connections, and you should have something that says mobile network, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, You know, disable the Wi-Fi and disable the Bluetooth unless you're going to use it. Again, just you might not have to do any of this, but if you're having a battery problem, definitely do it. The other thing you might want to try, change your network settings. Some phones offer you, some phones allow you to switch it back to 2G, which is kind of silly. If you bought a 4G phone, why do you want to go to 2G? But like my AT&T, all it offers is the network mode of 2G or the other mode of 2G, 3G, 4G. And I bought the phone for a better connection, so I'm going to keep it on 2G, 3G, 4G. But you know, if you're having problems with your battery, or if you're really low on your battery and you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere, go to 2G. That might help you if you get a signal. If you don't, then stick it back up to 3 or 4. And what's the other thing? Well, I already told you where that's at. Network connections, network and connections. Go to your mobile network and then select 2G if you need to save your battery power. What's the other thing? Use the on-off feature. The on-off feature, the bedside mode. You know, that's kind of, they really don't explain the thing too well. You can find it if you go to Options, Device, Auto On-Off. And what I did with that is I've got it set so that you can shut the phone off at night if you want to, but I've got my phone set so that it shuts off automatically at about 12:30 midnight, 12:30 in the morning, and then it turns on at 7:30. Well, it turns on at like 7:20 actually. So it turns on at 7:20, and then my alarm goes off at 7:25. So if you want to set it to shut off the phone at a certain time and turn on the phone, that works really cool. And you can set it to do that on the weekday, or you can set it to do that on the weekend, or you can set it to do it both weekday and weekend. A good way to save power. What's the other thing? Get one of those Blackberry cases that has a magnet in it. You know, they're not the cheapy ones. They get a little magnet in the back of the thing, and that way when you put your cell into there, it cuts down on the power, kind of locks the thing a little bit. What's the other thing you can do? Exit unused applications. I'm not really running that many applications, but exit unused applications works really good. You press and hold your menu button and then go to the app switcher. I think they call it app switcher or switch apps or something like that. And I highlight the app that you want to close, and then when you're in that app, press the menu button and click exit. It shuts down the apps. You might need to do that, you might not. Depends on if you want to keep stuff open. I didn't do that, and I'm not really running a lot of apps right now, but I improved my battery substantially. If you're using stuff like Twitter where you can set it to update your feeds I believe it's every minute. I think it's every minute. They definitely have a 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, and I think there's an hour. You got to be really careful. Oh yeah, you got to be careful if you're doing the 5-minute thing, because that's just going to crank out your battery. I got mine set to 10 minutes. It's working really good. You also want to look at that setting on your Facebook program. Make sure that it's not doing updates too often. And here's something that they don't tell you. They definitely don't tell you this. This might be the reason why my battery was just sucking power. I don't have my MySpace on there, but when you buy the Bold, it comes with a thing called I think it's social media feed. Major nightmare. The problem with the social media feed, if you go in there and you set up your if you put in your Facebook info, and you put in your Twitter info, and you put in, I think maybe it's got Google Talk and MySpace, if you put any of that stuff in there, let me put some lights on again so it's not so boring. If you put any of that info in there, it's going to check your feeds constantly, 24 hours a day. And what I found out, this was pulling stuff off the wall. This was pulling feeds off of Twitter. It was pulling things off of everything. It's constantly running in the background, and supposedly it will eat your battery alive. And I'm assuming that's what was causing most of my problem, because my like I said, that thing was dead within 3 hours, and the cell phone sat in my pocket the whole time. So, what I did just to solve the whole problem is I went in to the Blackberry Desktop Manager, That's a really good thing to use. I don't, if you don't know how to do it, send me a message on YouTube here, and I'll try to walk you through it. But I installed the desktop manager from Blackberry, and then I looked for updates. But what it does is it shows everything that's installed on the phone, everything that you've additionally installed on the phone, any apps, things that need to be updated, things that you can delete, certain things you can't delete. I deleted the social media feed. I just unchecked it. I unchecked the social media feed. I unchecked games. I unchecked everything that I really didn't need. AT&T and Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, they all install a ton of crap on there that you really don't need. It uses a lot of space on your cell phone. Not that you're going to need it, but it uses up a lot of app memory or map space on the drive, and I just didn't want it to show up on my cell phone. So I uninstalled a bunch of that stuff, took out the social media feed, which, like I said, was probably a very smart idea, and restarted the phone. Then I went on to the apps world thing, and I installed on my own Facebook, and then instead of using the Blackberry Twitter program, I installed Uber Social, which is 100 times better. And I think that made a big difference, because now I've got control over my Uber Social for Twitter. I've got control over the Facebook program, and those are only two programs that are running, and I limit what feeds I'm getting on there, which maybe I could do on the on that social media app, but I think that was just sucking my battery down. So that's my advice to try to get better battery power. It definitely worked on me, and the cool thing, I was lucky. Like I said, AT&T sent out a battery that I can't use, worth 35 bucks. That's going to go on eBay, and they're shipping out another one overnight tonight, and hopefully that will work. At this point, I don't even think I need that spare battery, but it would be nice to have. And let me give one other piece of advice. I upgraded from my Blackberry 8310 Curve, and I was really, which had it had the 4.5 OS operating system in there. I was pissed when I got this Bold, because all the sounds that I had on the old Curve were no longer on the Bold 9900, and so luckily I had the old phone. I looked at the sounds. I did some research, and it turns out that if you have the Bold, if it turns out if you have the OS 4.5, or the Blackberry OS 5, or the Blackberry OS 6, because the Bold is now the OS 7. If you have the 4.5, the 4, the 5, the 6, and you miss all your sounds on there, those sounds are still available. I had no idea, but I did some research, and I found those sounds are available, and I'm going to try to show you what the links are to that now. This is what you need to do. Hopefully this is going to show up. Not the best video, but okay. Let me hold the camera here, and I'm going to scroll across http://mobile, MOBILE, .blackberry. Let me get this light out of here so it doesn't screw up the video. Yeah, it's totally screwing up the video. Sorry. Hang in there with me. Blackberry, BLACKBERRY.com/resources, RESOURCES/MB as in boy, C, / alright, where is it? Downloads. This does not like me doing this. Downloads, DOWNLOADS, /ringtones, RINGTONES, /DRM, /NET, underscore, RIM, RIM, underscore, DB, underscore, media loader, MEDIALOADER, underscore, ringtones, RINGTONES, underscore 480, small x, or the multiplication sign, small x, 360 underscore 03, oh, lost that, sorry, 03 underscore B as in boy dot JAD. J as in John, A as in Adam, D as in David. So let me scroll across one more time so you can hopefully make sure that that is what you wrote down. All right, what you do with this is, it's very simple. What you do with this is, let's get back to that Blackberry. I want to have some nice graphics for you. What you do with that link is you have to type that link in on your Blackberry. It's got to be done on your Blackberry browser. Type in that link. What will happen is it will ask you if you want to download it. You click the download button, the blue button, and then you'll see a little green line scroll across the screen. It will download. Sorry. And then after that, after it downloads, what you do is you've now installed the ringtones for that old 4.5, 5, or 6 OS, and you go, when you go to change your ringtones on your settings for loud or normal, or for individual emails, when you get a list of all the ringtones that it comes with, you don't want those. You want to scroll down to where it says all alert sounds. Click on that, and all of the sounds that you had from your old Blackberry will be there. And if you don't understand this point, then you should probably turn off the video, but you should be able to just click on any of those sounds, and then after you set it up for how many for the volume and how many times you want it to do its little ding thing, after you do that, then you want to press on the button to the right of the, is that showing good? You want to press on the button to the right of the scroll bar, the track bar thing with that little U-turn arrow. You want to press that, and then it will say save, and you press save, and then you go and you set up the rest of your sounds. So hopefully that's going to save people a lot of time. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave some comments, leave some thumbs up likes. If you want to donate to my PayPal as a thank you, I would appreciate that too. Thanks a lot.